In this section, we'll talk about select. So the idea is to just give you an indication of what select is from an Excel perspective. So what select statement does from an Excel perspective. Now, assuming this is your data set, so when you, maybe you just need, maybe you need certain fields. So basically you have different fields, right? And maybe you do not need all the fields. Maybe you just need a certain field, right? So what exactly does select do? Select basically is just to select the fields that you need. So assuming you need these fields only, so you need the order number, the order date, the ship date. You do not need the customer ID. Maybe you need the product ID, right? And then you need maybe the quantity, for instance. So now, what select basically does is just say, it's just like saying it's selecting this very fields that you need, and then it's just coming to paste you the result. So basically, you only see the fields that you want. So here you only want to see the order ID, the order date, the ship date, the product ID, and then the quantity. You do not get out the remaining fields. Now, this is very, very useful because it's useful to be very specific in SQL, right? Because also very much like Google Sheet or the Excel sheet, the more the cells that you put your data, the more heavy the file is, right? So it's also the same in SQL, that the more cells that you're selecting, the bigger that the result of the query is going to be. And this also means the more time you will spend to download the data, and in some cases the more money your company will pay, right? But if you do not need the data, then there's no need to draw it. So basically that's why select is very, very good and powerful, and you can already use it to do your analysis by just being very, very specific. Now, that is just one part of select, right? Also, you also can use select to maybe do some calculation. So for instance, now you want to do maybe for every quantity you would like to multiply, you could also use select to, after selecting the columns, you could also maybe put an extra column that is just multiplying, right? And then you say or maybe for instance, now you just basically make reference to this column, right? And then you just multiply all the column by 2, right? So in this case, this is the same way. Select could also be used to do some kind of analysis like this. So I'm just putting this here just so it makes it easier to understand. But for people who are basically much more used to the Google Sheet Excel, they basically understand exactly what this function is doing, right? So thank you. See you in the class.